The film opens with Yulia, the daughter of a high-ranking official in the Russian military, who recounts a tale about her late mother. She narrates that the stars are akin to an angel's eye watching over us, and expresses her sense of solitude despite residing with her father. In the classroom, the teacher is elucidating an astronomical event occurring on Earth. One of the students, named Mirnov, is quite drowsy, while another student named Google appears to harbor feelings for Yulia as he consistently attempts to assist her in responding to the teacher's queries. Her friend inquires about her relationship status, and then she hands her a ticket to the Corsa concert. Subsequently, she departs with her boyfriend. Once school is over, Yulia seeks permission from her father, Colonel Lebedev, to observe a meteor shower that's due to occur that night. However, he denies her request, citing her safety as the reason, and informs her that he won't be home that evening. Frustrated with her father's decision, she contacts her boyfriend, Tyoma. He proposes that she defy her father's orders, since the meteor shower is a rare event that happens only once every 50 years. He reassures her by mentioning that he had once seen her father leaving. In the meantime, an extraterrestrial spacecraft is observed journeying through the solar system. Unexpectedly, it collides with one of the meteors, leading to a malfunction and its entry into Earth's atmosphere at an extremely high velocity. The Russian military identifies the descending alien spaceship, and they fire missiles at it as it doesn't decelerate, causing it to reduce speed. On the other hand, Tyoma escorts Yulia to the rooftop of a building, where everyone is gathered in anticipation of the meteor shower. Eventually, he gets into a scuffle with some guy driving. Meanwhile, Yulia encounters her girlfriend, Svetlana. The pair decide to enjoy themselves in Svetlana's apartment room, leaving Yulia alone on the rooftop. Of course, they might miss the chance to witness this, but they proceed and start having a good time. All of a sudden, the spaceship starts plummeting towards the city, causing a freeze on the phones of people who were waiting to watch. It wreaks havoc on several buildings, including Svetlana's apartment. This impact instantly takes Svetlana's life while startling the couple, who nearly tumble from the building. After causing destruction to numerous buildings and resulting in the deaths of hundreds of people, including almost Yulia, but fortunately, her boyfriend rescues her. It finally comes to a halt. Tyoma then rushes Yulia to the hospital because she faints. The Russian armed forces promptly move towards the crash site of the spaceship and try to establish communication with it while clearing out the city. Considering the spaceship could potentially be a nuclear weapon, Colonel Lebedev and Mikhail, a deputy of the State Duma, approach the ship to initiate contact with an old creature, presumably extraterrestrial, for the first time. Several marksmen are also positioned to be ready for any unexpected assault. Meanwhile, Mikhail tries to extend a friendly greeting to the alien, and it appears to comprehend them and attempts to converse with them, but in an unknown language. Shortly after, Lebedev communicates with the higher authorities, stating that he has reached an understanding with the aliens to maintain a distance from them while they are fixing the damaged spaceship. Some higher authorities propose launching an attack to completely obliterate it, but the colonel declines to incite hostility with the aliens and opts to monitor the situation. He also mentions that all of this occurred due to their attack on the aliens and assures them that they should endure this. In the meantime, Yulia finally regains consciousness, and Tyoma informs her that her girlfriend has died. As they were about to leave the hospital, her father arrives to take her home, showing annoyance towards her boyfriend. Tyoma explains about her medication, but her father tells him that if he hadn't taken her to that place, she would have been safe. She then departs from the hospital and grieves for her friend's demise. Colonel Lebedev then escorts his daughter home, and as they are about to leave, she inquires about the situation, but he urges her to understand him for once and to assist him by being well for once in her life. He also informs her that her grandmother will stay with her. In spite of the crash, the students continue to attend school, transported by a military safety bus. A picture of Yulia's friend is displayed in the corridor for mourning. Back in the classroom, the teacher expresses his enthusiasm about the encounter with an alien civilization. However, the students harbor resentment towards the aliens, blaming them for the demise of their friends or family members. They are upset that the military hasn't taken any action. Starting with Yulia, everyone leaves the classroom. Once home, Yulia covertly takes her father's gun and heads to Tyoma's gang hideout. There, Tyoma and his friends are planning to post negative remarks about the aliens on social media. She encourages them to venture into the quarantine zone to seek revenge for her girlfriend's death. They infiltrate the zone through an old processing plant and eventually reach the area. Tyoma suggests that Yulia stays in the car while the others investigate the nearby buildings, where they stumble upon an alien object, presumably fallen from the ceiling. In the meantime, Yulia goes against her boyfriend's advice and quietly goes up to Svetlana's apartment room. She looks at their photo and listens to her last voicemail when suddenly an alien creature appears and startles Yulia. She fires at it, but as she is about to retreat in frustration, the alien saves her from falling and attempts to communicate with her. Just then, Tioma and his friends show up and strike the enigmatic creature. It slips and loses its grip, leading to a free fall. They quickly move towards the creature, and Tioma discovers blood, which has similar properties to human blood. It turns out that it is an exoskeleton armor, and Yulia notices a dying alien creature, which has the exact same physical form as humans, but she disregards it. They depart with the alien suit. The army arrives and locates the alien's device. They transport the device to their lab. They then manage to remove the armor and the mysterious object without being noticed. That night, Yulia finds herself unable to sleep and opts to return to the building within the quarantine zone. Upon reaching there, she saves the alien and conceals its body in the car. The following day, she seeks assistance from Google, who intends to pursue medicine after completing his studies. She confides in Google that she feels indebted to the alien and desires to save him. Google deduces that his anatomy bears resemblance to that of humans. Hence, they transport him to a hospital as he has lost a significant amount of blood. They conduct a blood test on him and discover that he shares the same blood group as Yulia. She decides to perform a blood transfusion on him, and it proves successful. He regains consciousness and abruptly seizes her hand, transferring his metallic bracelet to her. During her bath, she discovers that the metallic bracelet has the ability to draw water towards it, enabling her to manipulate water. In the meantime, the military retrieves an object resembling an alien shield and begins its examination. The colonel also recognizes that this object has the power to control water. Elsewhere, a fisherman is taken aback when he notices that the water near the alien ship has mysteriously vanished. The scientist deduces that the ship absorbs water and utilizes it for repairs, as some of the external damage on the ship appears to have been mended. In the meantime, the alien regains consciousness and somehow manages to communicate in Russian. He introduces himself as Hakon and discloses that he is in search of a device named Shilk. He gets dressed and departs on his own. Patrolling officers notice him and escort him to a police station for questioning. Tioma and his friends inspect the exoskeleton and realize that they can make use of it since it fits human dimensions. One of his friends unintentionally triggers the armor, causing the group to panic. Tioma contacts Colonel Lebedev and decides to surrender the exoskeleton to the military, but he is currently unavailable. They encounter a crowd of people who are irate due to the military's decision to ration the water supply. One individual tries to incite the crowd, leading to a skirmish between the officers and the crowd. Tioma, who has noble intentions of trying to dissolve the fight, is struck in the back by one of the officers and is taken into custody. Shortly after, Lebedev shows up, but Tioma abandons his plan to hand over the exoskeleton to the military. During the interrogation, the police officer is puzzled when she is unable to find any fingerprints on Hakon's finger. A little while later, Yulia arrives at the police station to liberate Hakon. Regrettably, Tioma is also in the same room when he spots Yulia, and he is greatly disheartened by her action. She decides to escort the alien to the boundary to introduce him to her father. En route, Hakon clarifies that he requires Shilk in order to return to his planet. When Yulia arrives, she pretends to be pregnant so her father will want to see her. She introduces Hakon to her father, the colonel, while secretly taking her father's access card and giving it to an alien. The alien is then kicked out by her angry father. Hakon, pretending to be a scientist, sneaks into the lab and gets the Shilk from an unknown object. It takes a while for the scientist to realize that he's not the colonel, and they quickly set off the emergency alarm. Later, Hakon manages to meet up with Yulia and the colonel, who orders his men to take them home. Tioma is finally freed, and along with his friends, they start getting ready for a rebellion. They modify their car, make Molotov cocktails, and gather baseball bats. Afterwards, he phones Yulia to say sorry and asks her to be part of their group, but she says no because she picks the alien over him. Hakon has to get the Shilk to the spaceship right away, but they can't do it until midnight because they can't get past the guards. She takes him to her house and shows her sick dog to the alien. Hakon sees that the dog is in pain, so he brings the Shilk near the dog, which magically makes the dog better, and now the dog is healthy again. While they're eating, Yulia finds out from the TV that Hakon is now wanted by the military. When she sees her dad and his soldiers coming to the house, they run away. Hakon tells her not to smoke because it's bad for her. At the same time, a video that's against the alien and the military is being seen by a lot of people online. The video says that people need to keep the Earth safe from powerful beings. It turns out that Teoma and his friends are the ones who make and share the video to spread negative feelings. Yulia and Hakon go to see Google and borrow his clothes. Then they go to a concert where Colonel Lebedev can't find them. While they're dancing, Hakon asks Yulia to hold his hand, and he shows her what his home planet looks like. He tells her that people are not allowed to get near their spaceship, or Saul will destroy it because they're scared that people will take their high-tech stuff. Sadly, one of Teoma's friends sees them and tells Teoma right away, which makes Teoma very angry. After the concert, Yulia takes the alien back to his spaceship through an old building where they kiss for the first time, and Yulia tells the alien how she really feels about him. All of a sudden, Teoma and his friends, who are feeling hurt, show up and start hitting the alien very hard. Hakon decides to fight back when Teoma hits Yulia. He shows that he's stronger and easily knocks everyone down. One of the guys tries to shoot Hakon, but Ruslan gets hit by the bullet instead. Teoma and his friend run away when the guards show up. Teoma is very sad because his best friend is dead, so he tells his friend to tell everyone online that the alien killed the man and asks them to get angry and attack the spaceship. Once everyone is there, Teoma talks to them in a way that makes them angry. He tells them that the military has been looking after the aliens, not them, and they need to take back their Earth. The military doesn't shoot and decides to protect the line, but Teoma's group starts to cause trouble and manages to get past the barrier. At the same time, Teoma tries to use the alien's outer body. The spaceship feels in danger, so it calls for more aliens in modern suits to protect their ship. At the base, Yulia tells her dad Hakon is an alien and insists on returning him to his spaceship, ignoring her dad's objections. She drives Hakon to his spaceship, but Teoma interferes. Teoma's attack causes Yulia to faint. Hakon fights Teoma, who is stronger. When Yulia wakes up, she hits Teoma's suit with the car. Lebedev and his soldiers show they mean no harm. Teoma loses control of the suit, grabs a gun, and shoots wildly. After Yulia is shot, Lebedev orders Teoma's arrest. The aliens take the injured Hakon, Yulia, and Lebedev to their spaceship for healing. Saul, the spaceship's AI, explains Earth is seen as too aggressive. Hakon believes in a connection with Earth and observes it. Yulia's love for Hakon could positively influence the observation. Yulia revives, the spaceship leaves Earth, and she acknowledges an extraterrestrial's faith in humanity. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.